everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and it's Fun Draw Friday. And today I will be drawing Iron Man from Marvel. And I wanted to give this kind of a test run with the time lapse video. I apologize for the little fuzziness there at the beginning. But I just wanted to see if more people would be willing to watch and learn from time lapse. I put up a little poll, and only 2 people voted, but I gave it a go anyway. But yeah, so what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of just sketching everything out, right? So I kind of just got the basis for the head, and just kind of adding in like the eyes and the mouth. It's just real generic to start with. So when you're drawing pictures, you just want to make sure that you kind of sketch and lay things out just so that you can get them right. So you can see I kind of change, the shapes of different things on the mask too, to just kind of make sure that I get, everything situated where I want. I'm also kind of putting in little tiny things that kind of help shape the helmet and a little bit of detail, but nothing too extravagant, just enough to get the shapes in line. So after kind of masking it out, so I'm just kind of doing like that front part of the head. Um, you'll see I'm going to start going in there and kind of shaping the neck parts too, because the neck has to be mobile, so it has different layers to it and stuff like that. So once I'm done working with the chin, I just kind of go in and just do these basic wraparound cylindrical shapes. You can kind of go around the uh, the outer edge just to kind of give it an overlap, and then you simply just kind of make these kind of like over um, almost like an arch in the center neck part, just where it's overlaid. And then I just kind of drew out the armor plating that goes around that from the high shoulders, like the clavicle area, and then putting in a few little circles for like nuts and bolts kind of thing, and then just building out the lower shoulder. I'm just kind of doing like a portrait of it today. So the next step for me was to just then get a fine tip Sharpie, and I just kind of went over the lines for everything. Now, certain points I did, like here on the mouth, you'll see I'll kind of fill that in. I put something underneath so it wouldn't bleed through my sketchbook uh, and get onto the other page. But yeah, I'm just going around, kind of filling in some of the black areas that are going to be like the darkest shadows. So in this step of the process, you want to make sure that you're um, really hitting up those parts of the image that are going to be finalized, and have that inking in there. So I'm taking just those darkest shadows and just filling those in. So as I work my way around the image, the other thing I'm doing is kind of adding in extra plating, just to be able to bring out that much more detail and show some of the metal work. Or just to show that it's metallic. So I just kind of put like those little extra lines in there. And again, just adding and reinforcing those nuts and bolts. But what I'm doing now is like down towards the neck where the armor is overlaying on there. I'm just filling that in just black, almost like you would in a comic book. Just it's not heavily exposed. So just certain parts of the neck that would be covered, I'm just kind of darkening that. And then I do the same thing over on the left side of the image. Now what I am going to do is something that I don't do often just because it takes time. But since we're doing a time lapse, I figure I'd be able to work it in this time because it'd make the video much shorter. Um, but yeah, I'm just going in right there under the neck, and I'm kind of following the flow um, of the roundness of it just to kind of fill that area in. So I just kind of blacken that out. Um, but yeah, and then I just go around the outside, just kind of thickening up the overlay, the armor over the shoulder. And then I also want to make sure I thicken up just because it'll make it pop out on the page. And when I add color, it won't over, saturate it and take away all that inking line in there. So I'm just kind of thickening up the outside edge, uh, you know, almost like you would do in a manga. Just again, just kind of make it pop off the page a little bit. And again, that'll kind of allow me to do what I need to do. So I just started with a gray marker. And these are Oahu's alcohol markers. So I was just taking my time looking for a proper gray. So I found a blue gray, and I just kind of go in and add in the shadowed areas on the armor. So where light is not really hitting it as much, and what that'll do is it'll kind of help you get some basic shapes in there to kind of round off the armor so it's not so flat looking in the image. So I'm just kind of going through and just filling it in. Now you may be wondering, well, why are you choosing to use a blue gray? You can honestly use any gray. I was just trying to find something that was more dark, and my warm gray was kind of dried out. I need to kind of refill that. So I'm just using this blue gray just because it's more on the darker side of things. So again, I'm just going through and just kind of adding in these shadows um, to help kind of round out the armor. I'm leaving some spots blank so it looks like it has some reflectiveness on it. So like a white glare almost on there. So you can see like even around the chin edges there, I just kind of left some spots blank on there. And I'm really just thinking about, where the light's going to be in the image. And that just comes with practice. You could probably, if it's your first time trying and you wanted to do something like that, you could just look up images of like reflective metal and just see how things kind of go across the surface um, and which areas get dark while the rest of it's, more reflective and have more light to it. And if you've watched me for any number of time, and you can see I'm kind of adding in some things with the ink pen too that I kind of left out, like little nuts and bolts. But I kind of base my stuff more off of what looks cool as opposed to being 100% accurate with the lighting. So yeah, it's not 100% like realism, but it's enough to just make it go. So then after kind of seeing my lines fade, I kind of thickened up the mask, the gold part. Um, and then I just found a deep red. I think it was actually a vivid red out of the marker set. And so now I'm just going in and just coloring over those dark areas. And what you'll see in the video is what that does is it allows for its own self-shadowing, almost like a cell shading kind of thing. It goes in there and darkens that marker up for me to make it like a dark red. So I don't have to go back and find multiple different types of red. So that's why I kind of go over it with the gray first. And then I just kind of go through and look at different areas and see, what do I want to leave open? What do I want to have more white light exposed on? So I just kind of just draw that shape around of what I want to leave alone, and then just kind of like leave that exposed. So you just kind of go through. Now I'm using the nib side where it's a little bit thinner, just because on this particular marker, like I said, this is an old set of markers. It was just not working very well, so it was not really pushing the ink through. So that's why I'm kind of using the thin tip side. And you can see on the back of the neck, I'm leaving that area white and reflective, while the rest of it I just kind of go through and fill in with the red. Now with the mask, it's just the chin and then the back part of the head that actually gets the rest of the red. The rest of it will actually be gold. Now that part was a little bit more challenging. I had to find kind of a yellow ochre to kind of get that deep, like a darker gold color. I didn't really have like a gold marker, so I had to just kind of play around with that. And you can also see I'm kind of leaving the outer edge up towards the top, leaving that white just so again it just has that reflectivity to it, and just picking different areas inside of there. So once I get all that filled in, like I said, I go and I find that yellow ochre marker and start going in with that. So yeah, I mean that really pretty much does it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. Let me know down in the comments if you want them to keep like this, where it's just time lapse with an explanation. It really helps. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, leave a like. Other than that, I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to keep on sketching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.